Hello everyone, welcome to the next video lecture of electrical circuit analysis. Myself Himanshu Joshi, I am an assistant professor in Sri Labhubhai Trivedi Institute of Engineering and Technology, Rajkot. So in today's video lecture, we are going to discuss the Kirchhoff's voltage law with dependent source. If you don't know what is the dependent source, then I will request you to check my playlist of electrical circuit analysis. In my playlist you will find the detailed video lecture based on dependent source. So in this example we have to find out the value of all the loop currents, that means I1, I2, I3 and I4. So the first step that we have to do in any network analysis example, that first step is that is there any possibility to find out the solution without any calculation. That means, is there any possibility that we can find out the value of I1, I2 and I3 and I4 without any calculation? Clear? So here we can say that I4 can be calculated without any calculation, because I4 is the loop current. Clear? And in the loop of I4 there is a current source which is having a value of 40 ampere. So we can say that this I4 will be flow in this loop in this direction, and I4 is also flow from this 40 ampere source. So we can say that I4 and this 40 ampere source both are the same, and the direction of I4 and this current source is also same. So I can say that the value of I4 is equal to 40 ampere, So now we are having only three quantities, that is the I1, I2 and I3. So we have to find out the value of I1, I2 and I3. Now we have to apply the Kirchhoff's voltage law, because now these three current cannot be identified or cannot be calculated without any calculation. You can calculate the current directly if there is a current source, then and then you can find out the value of current source or current. So let starts with the KVL in loop 1. So here I4 is equal to 40 ampere. So we are having the remaining current of I1, I2 and I3. So we have to apply the Kirchhoff's voltage law for loop 1. So let me mark the polarities for loop 1. Here plus minus, here current will enter at this point, so this is the plus and this is the minus. For 5 ohm current will enter at this point, left at this point, so that is the plus minus, and for 6 ohm plus sign is over here, minus is over here. So let write down the Kirchhoff's voltage law based on these polarities. So this is the minus 6, minus 10 I1. Here 5 ohm is in between loop 1 and loop 2. So we have to write I1 minus I2. So I have write over here minus 5 I1 minus I2, and this 6 ohm is in between loop 1 and loop 4. So I will write minus 6 I1 minus I4. Now we know the value of I4 is equal to 40 ampere. So with this simplification I will put the value of I4 is equal to 40. So the equation becomes minus 6 minus 10 I1. I will multiply 5 with I1, so that is the 5 I1, and this minus minus sign becomes plus, so this is the plus 5 I2. Again we will multiply the 6 with I1, so minus 6 I1, and minus 6 with minus I4, so it will become plus 6 I4, and we will replace I4 with 40. So let simplify the equation. So this is the minus 10 I1, this is minus 5 I1, and this is minus 6 I1. So the addition will become minus 21 I1 plus 5 I2 will be as it is, and over here 6 into 40, that is the 240 minus 6, this is the 240 minus 6. So if we will shift this term on right hand side of equal to, then it will become minus 236. So the KVL equation for loop 1 is look like minus 21 I1 plus 5 I2 is equal to minus 236. Now the remaining loop will be loop number 2 and loop number 3, but you have to observe that in between loop 2 and loop 3 there is a current source. So we cannot apply the Kirchhoff's voltage law when there is a current source between two loop, because we have to add all the voltages in Kirchhoff's voltage law. So now when we are going to write the voltage drop across current source, but the resistance of current source is unknown, so we cannot write the voltage drop across current source. So under this condition we have to use the concept of super mesh. Clear? So first we have to write the KVL in super mesh. Clear? And then we have to write the another equation from current source. So let apply the Kirchhoff's voltage law in super mesh. So we can write in this manner that, let me mark the polarity for I2. This is the plus sign, this is the minus sign, this is the plus sign, this is the minus sign. Again plus, minus, again plus and minus. We are going to open this current source. We are going to open this current source. So the merge, there is a merger of two loop, and this now this single loop is known as super mesh. Clear? So for this 5 ohm we can write minus 5 I2 minus I1. For this 20 ohm we can write minus 20 I2. For this 15 ohm we can write minus 15 I3, and for this 2 ohm we can write minus 2 I3 minus I4. So this will be the equation for super mesh. This is the minus 5 I2 minus I1. For this 20 ohm we can write minus 20 I2. For this 15 ohm we can write minus 15 I3, and for this 2 ohm which is in loop between loop number 3 and loop number 4 we can write minus 2 I3 minus I4. Now we will replace I4 by 40, and again simplify. We have to multiply the 5 with I2 and minus I1. So it will become minus 5 I2 plus 5 I1. This 20 I2 as it is, 15 I3 as it is. We have to multiply the 2 with I3 and 40. So this will become minus 2 I3 and this will become plus 80. So last, if we simplify, the equation look like 5 I1, this 5 I2 and minus 20 I2 becomes minus 25 I2. This 15 and 2 will become minus 17 I3, minus 17 I3, and this plus 80 we will shift plus 80 to the opposite side or right hand side of equal to. So it will become minus 80. So this is the our equation for super mesh, equation number 2. Now we will write the third equation from this current source, because equation 3 we can write loop number 2 and loop number 3. Now this equation is I3 minus I2 is equal to 5 Vx, because for this current source, the direction of current source is upward. Now I2 is opposite direction of this current source, and I3 is in direction or same direction of current source. So I will take I3 as positive and I2 as negative. So I3 minus I2 I can write that is equal to 5 Vx. Now we have to replace Vx with I1, I2 and I3. We have to replace Vx with I1, I2 and I3 because Vx is unknown quantity. Clear? So, for this dependent source, the value of Vx is given that Vx is equal to voltage across 5 ohm. Vx is the voltage across 5 ohm. So, I can write that Vx is equal to 5 I2 minus I1. Why I will take the I2 minus I1? Because the polarity of Vx is same as the polarity of I2, because I2 will enter at this point. So, this is the plus, this is the minus, but I1 will enter at this point and left at this point. So, I cannot write Vx is equal to 5 I1 minus I2. I have to write Vx is equal to 5 I2 minus I1 because the polarity of I2 and polarity of Vx will be matched. So, I can write Vx is equal to 5 I2 minus I1. Now, we have to replace Vx with 5 into I2 minus I1. So, I can write I3 minus I2 is equal to 5 and Vx is equal to 5 I2 minus I1. So, this is the value of Vx, 5 I2 minus I1. So, if I will simplify that I3 minus I2 is equal to 5 into 5. So, 25 into I2 minus I1, and after the simplification I will get the equation number 3 as 25 I1 minus 26 I2 plus I3 is equal to 0. So, that is the equation number 3 that we have written from the current source. Now, these all the equation, and based on this equation we are going to apply the Cramer's rule to find out the value of I1, I2 and I3. So, I can write the matrix form based on these three equation, and now we have to find out the value of delta, delta 1, delta 2 and delta 3 to find out the value of I1, I2 and I3. So, this is the value of delta, this is the value of delta. You can simplify this value of delta and you will get the value of delta is equal to 7657. You can get the value of delta is equal to 7657. You will get the value of delta 1 is equal to 110612. If you simplify the value of delta, you will get the delta 1 is equal to 110612. If you will simplify the value of delta 2, you will get the delta 2 is equal to 99800. You will get the value of delta 2 is equal to 99800. This is the value of delta 3. You will get delta 3 is equal to 150500. So, now based on this value delta, delta 1, delta 2, delta 3, we are able to find out the value of I1, I2 and I3. So, I1 is equal to delta 1 by delta. So, you have to put the value of delta 1 and delta, you will get the I1 is equal to 14.446 ampere. I2 is equal to delta 2 by delta. So, delta 2 by delta you will get, sorry, over here is the minus sign, you will get delta 2 is equal to minus 13.0338 ampere, and value of I3 is equal to delta 3 by delta, and that is equal to 19.655 ampere. So, this is the solution of all the loop currents. We have already find out the value of I4 is equal to 40 ampere. I4 is equal to 40 ampere. So, this is the solution of Kirchhoff's voltage law that we are going to use for dependent source. So, with this we are going to end our session. I will request you all to please verify the answer and give your comment in comment section that answer will be proper or not. So, with this, thank you very much. We are going to ending our session. If you have any question, any doubt, you can give your question and doubt in comment section also. and give your confirmation about the answer, that will be proper or not. So thank you very much. Thank you.